Hi, this is Adam. This is another Eye on North Carolina blog. We are here in Durham, North Carolina at Duke Gardens. Really excited to be here. It's a gorgeous day out. Duke Gardens has 55 acres of land. I'm here with Marketing and Communications Director Orla Swift, who's going to tell us more about all the exciting things going on at the gardens.
The Discovery Garden is one of the most recent. I think that was the biggest, most recent dedication. We had a lot of activity in around 2011 and 12. Various things. So this whole thing was just a meadow until a couple of years ago. It was our property, but it was not developed in any way. This is all a sustainable, organic food garden. Really generous donors who made all of this possible for us, for the community. We know admission is free here. So,
and open every day of the year.
Every day of the year. The grounds are open every day of the year, so the building is closed on holiday. But the grounds are where most people are heading. We are developing a new Japanese garden. And I can show you a little snippet of that, so just like what's to come. This is the Japanese pavilion, and it's one of the newer developments, somewhat newer, in the last decade of development. It's been developing more and more different architectural features are added, and really true to Japanese tradition. We bring in Japanese landscape designers and architects to advise us, and we'll walk in there and I'll show it to you, and then you can see the Japanese garden. So when you come to a Japanese tea, a traditional tea, the first place you enter is here, and you wait in the waiting shelter. And then we proceed to the tea house, which is a little farther in. So this tea house and Japanese pavilion is open only until 3 every day, and we'll soon have it open on weekends with some volunteers monitoring. But we try to take care of it and really treat it with respect. And have people understand the traditions connected with it, and learn more about a different tradition that's not something we've experienced here. Again, built in a traditional style, and watch the water flow. They'll be able to see the Japanese pavilion below and the red brick. It's gorgeous. And really using our resources well. It will be recirculating. It's not going to be taking new water.
Right.
Though it will have that appearance, so
right.
it'll be really neat.
Right.
It'll appear that the water's going underneath the path. And this is the view that people would have had 75 years ago when they used to come and visit the gardens. You would come upon it, and this would be the impact. The terrace is facing you and unfolding before you. So we re-revealed the rock garden, the Lubischer Rock Garden, leading up here, and this Francis P. Rollins Overlook is a new feature in the last few years. Francis Rollins is one of many donors who've just been very supportive of developing the beautiful project here at the gardens. Duke Gardens receives roughly half of its operating budget from Duke University, and the rest comes from donors. Big donors, small donors, memberships that people have, which start at just $25 for students. So that's a lot of support from the community. People do recognize the value and want to be a part of maintaining it and helping it grow and become more and more beautiful over the years.
This is amazing.
So the pergola, like I said, looks very different today than it did last week or for the last 75 years. It's going to take a few years for the west area to grow back, but we had to remove it to help it grow more healthily and to restore the actual structure underneath. So people are seeing now for the first time, outside of archive photos, what the actual pergola looks like, because it was all covered with just enormous amount of beautiful wisteria, but it had not been blooming well in the last few years. It had been struggling.
So it will take time to get that.
It'll take 2 or 3 years to grow back. Yeah. But we actually like the view, and you get some really interesting shadows now. Transferred from East Campus, and rebuilt using the original molds. The fountain was originally installed more than 100 years ago on Duke's East Campus, and it was brought here to Duke Gardens in 2012. And we also, at the same time, installed all surrounding it and redesigned, widened the rose garden, and redesigned the whole entranceway. Let me show you that a little bit.
So we continue our tour here at Duke Gardens. I'm here with Jan Little, the Director of Education, and she's going to give us more information on the importance of bringing the gardens to the community.
Yeah. Well, a public garden really has only one interest in having an education program, and that is to make the gardens accessible to the community. So we're kind of the doorway in. There's many people who appreciate gardens just because they're gardens, but there's many other people who really don't understand what a garden has to offer. So we kind of hit both those audiences in the education and programs. We offer tours, guided tours, so you can get a richer understanding of what you're seeing, and those can happen either in walking or in trolley tours. We offer programs for children and families, where a family can come in and parents can help share their love of nature with their children. Right. We offer school programs, and in today's world, elementary schools are really pushed to the limits of their resources. Right. So we can offer some enrichment and the chance for science to come to life. You know, you can talk about something in a classroom and it makes sense, but it may not be all that interesting. But when you go dip something out of a pond and see it squiggle underneath a microscope, suddenly it is...
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah,
it's
engaging.
Real.
Yeah. And I feel more people learn that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing, experiencing, yeah. And then we offer programs for adults who are interested in learning more about gardening, learning more about sustainability, learning more about nature photography. So there's a wide range of different, we have festivals, all kinds of different things.
And what are some of your more popular educational programs that people keep coming back to?
Well, we have 2 certificate programs for adults, one in home landscape horticulture and one in nature photography. And those people continue to come back and enrich their own knowledge. It's a way to get a more or less comprehensive view of a subject. It's not intended as professional training. It's intended as, you know, as a hobbyist, but a dedicated hobbyist level, and so it gives them that understanding. That, and then I think some of our festivals have become very popular. We have one coming up in the autumn called the Autumn Festival in the Asiatic Arboretum, and there's a huge Asian population around here, so we get people in from China and Japan to help people learn how to do origami, how to traditional Japanese storyteller, dance, martial arts, drumming. We had an artist last year who was doing traditional Chinese techniques. So just a range of different things associated with Asian culture that we can bring here. So we have
sounds like
the
you have
sky's the limit.
Sounds like you have a lot of programs for the community.
Yeah.
That's important to bring in the educational aspect, not just to enjoy the gardens and relax and peaceful, but get to know what impact these plants have and how can we use them better.
Yeah, because you know a garden is really a repository of you know plants and genetic material, and most gardens have some mission towards conservation or sustainability. And the plain and simple fact is that ain't going to happen in 55 acres. It's only going to happen when people start doing it at their homes.
Right.
And so this is a way for us to interact with them. So it's a fun job.
I bet. I bet. Well, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're here with Bobby, the Director of Horticulture, and he's going to tell us more about all the great things that he's working on. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hey, good to meet you. Yeah, we're really busy here at the gardens. I oversee a team of about 15 horticulturalists, and they're all kind of in their own specific areas of the gardens. And so we do a lot of things from just regular horticulture, activities like you see in the white garden with lots of different annuals and perennials, and of course we're maintaining lots of trees and shrubs as well. And we do this purely for display reasons. We've been really busy here the last 5 years. This garden, the white garden we're standing in right now, is only about 4 years old. And so we've been adding and updating a lot of other gardens as well, such as the rose garden. It's very, very recent with a new fountain and new roses planted in there. The Brody Discovery Garden also is our vegetable garden and our food garden, and that's only a couple of years old.
What challenges have you guys faced with the extreme weather this past winter? I'm sure there was a lot of things that you...
Weather is always a challenge, whether it's too little rain, too much rain, excessive heat like we're experiencing now, or excessive cold like we had this past winter. And it's just one of those things where you always have to be flexible and ready to adapt, because you can't do anything about the weather, and you can prepare for a lot of things, but you also just always have to be flexible and have a good plan. And we're entering what we consider hurricane season right now, so we have certain things that we do in preparation for an incoming storm, but again, you always have to be flexible because you never know what you're going to get.
Right.
So we missed the ice a few times this past winter, but yet just a few miles north of us had major ice storms, so we got lucky. So
there's been an instance where some plants have died off because of the extreme weather, and then other years they come back thriving.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. We lost a handful of things this past year, and that's just part of horticulture. Also, you're going to lose some things some years, and you just have to be ready to go shopping and buy some new plants.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, I bet. Well, Bobby, thank you so much for taking the time out to give us some more idea of what's going on with the garden.
Yep, my pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Yep,
Thank you.
Absolutely.